Hey, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing a little bit different video, guys. I'm really just going to be talking to you guys about what's upcoming in Call of Duty Cold War. And I know that's a big topic for a lot of people, especially for myself as a content creator. There's so many things that we look forward to every single year, and I am just going to dive into everything that I heard and what interests me going into Warzone. They're not going to be any gameplay, anything like that. I was not invited, anything like that. Maybe someday we can get there. But right now, with our lovely 500 subscribers, we cannot do that. We don't get those opportunities yet. But if we keep grinding, put our nose to it, I believe in anything, guys, especially with your guys' support. So let's jump into it. Alrighty, so the big things that I'm excited for in Call of Duty Warzone and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War going forward are that they're kind of merging together. If you guys did not hear, they are keeping the weapons that they have in Warzone right now, because they're like, hey, a lot of people put a lot of time into these weapons and unlocking certain sites and everything. They said, hey, we're going to keep those in the game, but we're going to add the Black Ops guns. So that's a really interesting thing, and I think it's very doable. I feel like Black Ops guns usually have slower fire rates though, and high fire rate guns do pretty good in Warzone. So I'm interested to see how they're going to balance that out. I'm hoping that they do a very good job, so it's not like we're still using the same guns or we're only using the Black Ops guns. If they can just merge those together perfectly, I don't see any problem with it. I think it'd be super fun. Also, I'm hoping that they bring the camos. So obviously everyone knows Black Ops has way better camos than this game. This game's, if there's been one downfall of Warzone and like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, there's plenty of them, don't get me wrong, but the number one is the camos. The camos are not worth grinding for in this game because they're just not good. So hopefully you can bring those over to these guns, and that would be absolutely amazing. But that's the big number one topic is I don't know how they're gonna merge those guns to be consistent, because there's an M4 in both games. There's in the new Cold War coming out, there's an M4, and in this game there's an M4. Like, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna just say, hey, we're only using the Black Ops Cold War M4 now? Are you gonna let us use both M4s? Are we gonna be able to have different attack? I have no idea how they're gonna do it, especially for ground loot. That's where it's gonna be interesting, because M4 does tend to be ground loot every once in a while, and there's also an MP5 in the game too. So I'm really interested in what they're going to do. There's multiple weapons that are duplicates. There's AK-74U, which is a bit obviously a submachine gun of the AK, but it's just a little bit different. I don't know how they're going to merge that all together, but let's hope that they put some kind of beta out. Like, obviously, guys, this is a Warzone Battle Royale channel, and I hope you guys do enjoy multiplayer, because I enjoy multiplayer too, and I'm going to go and drop high kill games, teach you guys how to play certain maps, that kind of stuff, because that's what I used to have a Call of Duty channel back in the day that did that stuff, and I'm super excited to do it now to a higher quality, because back then I was terrible at making content. It was just so hard, and there was no it's gonna be good, I promise. But what I'm hoping is Call of Duty takes like a week break of Warzone, or 2-week break, and they're like, hey, everyone go play multiplayer, start ranking up your guns. We'll have like a beta on the side for Call of Duty Warzone so people can play with it and see what's going on and all that. That would be ideal. Or just say, hey, we're going into beta here. We have a lot of stuff we have to change. Because if you guys didn't know, when there's a game in beta, there's like licensing stuff that has to go through like Xbox and PS4, to where when there's a beta, they can like skip and go under those guidelines. So they can update the game way more often, throw patches in daily, do all that kind of stuff. But if you ever wonder why there's only like a patch a week and like there's a huge error in the game, it's because those have to get processed by Xbox or Microsoft and Sony, as in PlayStation 4, before they can even get through. So if they keep it in beta, they can skip a lot of that. And that's why Fortnite was so successful for so long, because they're, I think, technically still in beta, because they've been trying to scoot under that this entire time. But so that's another thing I'm hoping they're gonna do. Let us enjoy Call of Duty Cold War. Everyone gets excited with the new Call of Duty. Is there things that stick out that you're more excited about than others? Of course, but it's a new Call of Duty. That first time playing it, loaded into that game, that like little kid on Christmas vibe, it's always there. So I'm super excited to play it. It looks really good, honestly, and beautiful graphics, especially on PC. I'm hoping that they adjusted a little bit. It looked like there was a lot going on in some of these maps, so it's gonna be hard to run on some computers, I have a feeling. But you know, they just came out with the new graphics cards and all this stuff, so they're all bragging about that, how it's gonna have ray tracing technology, and it's like, all right, just give me better frames. That's all I really care about. Optimize your game, because that was a huge issue. They did touch on this in the actual thing, saying, hey, there's going to be different modes, sliders, all these things that you can do to optimize your game to your computer better. Because if you guys played Call of Duty Blackout, which was before Warzone, there was a huge issue with optimization. Almost nobody could actually stream the game unless you had a 2-computer setup, which luckily I have a 2-computer setup, so I could get away with it. But like, you just can't stream some of these games because it just takes too much of your computer. And hopefully what they're talking about is going to help a lot of people with that on the content creation side, along with hopefully the game just runs smoother. So that's another thing that they touched on that was absolutely huge for me and is up there, because there's just not a lot of things that really matter in their settings right now. I'm hoping they just add a few things in there, a couple sliders that can help us out a little bit more. So as everyone knows, there is a big rumor about a new map coming in, and we figured out that it's not the desert map, because the desert map is actually a multiplayer map. So I'm very interested to see where Warzone goes with it. It's always weird with battle royales, because we want a new map, but we don't want a new map because the last map was so good and everyone's used to it. But I personally hope they keep Verdansk the way it is, because I think there's tons of great things. Maybe take away some of the spots, leave them almost the same, but just throw in like new maps. I think the size of it's great. There's a lot of depth to the hills and everything. If there's one thing I really hope they go for, if they don't get a whole new map, I'd be cool with it either way, because Call of Duty isn't like other games. You can learn it at a faster pace than some of these other BRs, because it's Call of Duty based and you can get around movement wise because you've been doing it for years. So I think it would be fine if they brought a new map in, as long as it's not like Fortnite where they throw the entire map underwater or something crazy. But I think a huge thing they could do is fix the freaking buildings, man. The buildings in this game are so bad. If you don't agree with me on that, then you probably just sit at the top of a building with a shotgun, because every staircase does the same thing in every single building. You just go up, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until you get to the top. Every single one in the game. Like, how is there no versatility in your buildings? So hopefully they do change that, because I personally think it's way too easy to just camp buildings in this game, especially if you just have a shotgun. The shotguns are so strong right now. So hopefully that fixes that. Haven't heard too much about shotguns in Call of Duty Black Ops, so I'm hoping that it's not a huge thing. I think shotguns there's a place for them in Call of Duty, but I don't think there's a place in competitive Call of Duty. Which takes me to the next thing I want to talk about is competitive Call of Duty. They had this big announcement. They really didn't bring up anything about it. And it's kind of frustrating for me as someone that used to compete in Call of Duty. If you didn't know, back in like Modern Warfare 2, me and my buddies, we used to compete on game battles and play against all of the top players in the world very consistently. We were always top of the ladder guys. It was super fun back in the day. If you didn't live up in that time, then I'm probably speaking gibberish to you. But it was like so hype playing against all the there wasn't even a pro scene yet. That was the only pro scene there was. So I was technically like a pro freaking Call of Duty player back in the day, but there's no history of it because I lost that game battles account. I am Rikar, Ripperino. But we used to run the threes ladder. It was super fun. Me, Ryan, and my boy Alex, as you guys see in the video a lot. And back on topic, they didn't really talk about much. They're bringing back Control, which is a really fun game mode in Cold War, and I think it is a very competitive game mode because it's like team deathmatch until like the end. It's pretty cool. If you don't know anything about it yet, look up some Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Control. It was pretty fun. It was a really good mode for competitive, but they didn't talk about a multiplayer playlist that's competitive, which needs to happen. If they don't bring a competitive Warzone or a competitive multiplayer, there is going to be a serious anger within the Call of Duty community, because let's be honest, Call of Duty is a competitive game. They have the CDL. They want to be a competitive game. All the great games in the world that are competitive, say Fortnite, they have a pretty terrible system, I will say, but there's something. League of Legends has probably the best one in the history of anything. They're going about 10 years strong right now, and they haven't changed this ranking system once. It's literally, you have a ladder and ranked, and you can literally see who the top player in the world is. Why can't we go into Call of Duty and see who's the top player in the world? So hopefully that is something they do add to the game. That would be absolutely phenomenal if you ask me. And they've tried different versions of rank before. It's never been great. I would hope they would put in either just solo or just duo. Ideally just solo, if that was my, or make it 2 different queues. Make a solo one and a team one. Maybe you have a 4 stack of friends that you want to grind that ladder with. I mean, that is something that you like. I know for me, playing game battles coming up, so much fun. If you could just do it within the game, it'd be amazing. I mean, I don't know if they have some kind of tie with like MLG and game battles and that stuff that they still like want you to do that, but I don't know. I would really enjoy not having to do that. But there's a few different new multiplayer game modes. Nothing seemed too crazy. There's a bunch of these maps that have like boats and stuff like that, which we all know is pretty much going to be irrelevant for the most part. Oh, a big thing that I think is a huge L. I like going into this Call of Duty being positive. I'm a content creator. I want everything to be great. But a big L for me on this one is score streaks. So they brought score streaks back, which I'm okay with score streaks. I'm cool with it. It doesn't have to be kills. Obviously, there is a nuke. You have to get 30 kills to get a nuke, it sounds like. That's what I've heard. But, guys, there is a big change. Score streaks are now, they just keep going. If you die, it just keeps going. So I don't know how they're gonna balance out. It's like, is there gonna be a chopper gunner every second? They say there's cooldowns on kill streaks, so it's like, does someone like call a chopper gunner in and then automatically through the whole map there's like a 3-minute delay on, you can't call like a chopper gunner in? Because that's really dumb if you ask me. So I think that's something they're gonna end up working on, because I know for a fact that nobody likes that. And it's just another thing that shows that like where they make their money is with kids. They want these games to be easier and easier for people these days, and that's another thing where I don't think they want the competitive modes in the game, because they make their money off kids, and there's nothing wrong with kids. I mean, kids are some of the best players in the world, no joke. You can probably go find a 9-year-old out there that can slap us around for Dansk and Warzone and all this stuff. They're really good. Their reaction times are flawless because they're young and on top of everything, but everyone just wants to give a participation trophy now. It's like, hey, you had a pretty good game. Here's your chopper gunner. Instead of, when you got a chopper gunner back in, say, MW2 on Wasteland, you're like, hey, we're getting a nuke right now because we're going off, boys. Hopefully no one kills me because I'm going to get it. And I miss those days. That was fun. It was a tough way to, like, you had to grind. You had to remember when Modern Warfare 2 came out, I was what? 14? Something like that. That's prime gaming years. And I played Halo 3. Got absolutely wrecked for years in that game. Same with Halo 2. I mean, it's just how you become better at things, and losing is a great thing. And I don't like, you guys have heard, if you've been in my stream before, my rants I go on about skill-based matchmaking. I just wish they didn't have it. You don't learn things from winning usually. You learn stuff from losing and doing things the wrong way over and over, and then you figure it out and you're like, wow, I'm actually just stupid. And then that thing clicks and you're like, all right, I'm winning now. Then that stops working and you're like, all right, we got to learn something new. It's how the game adapts and changes, and I'm not going to get too into it, but I hope that they can kind of start basing their games to be a little more competitive, hopefully. Because let's be honest, Twitch, if it wasn't for, as you guys know, I'm a big Twitch streamer, I'm a YouTuber. Yes, content does great. There's a great place for content, but a lot of people are there for competition. You see Nick Merckx, he doesn't get to pull 100K viewers if there isn't a tournament going on. If he's just sitting around playing, there's nothing important. People watch for competitiveness. They want to see greatness. They want to see how to get better. They want to see high pace activity, and that's just how it is in competitive games. Why do you think sports are so big in the world? Highest level, everyone wants to see it. But Other than that, guys, I think that's mostly everything I wanted to touch on in today's video. There's so much we can touch on. If you want to talk about it, come into the live stream. Come check me out. I usually stream just about every single night. Arizona time. I always say Arizona time because our time zone changes. It's roughly California time if you don't know it. But I'm excited, guys. I'm super excited for the channel. I'm going to have so many videos coming out. I might try to push Black Matter in multiplayer and try to get all the guns ranked up. I'm really excited. So I appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Happy Friday and peace out, y'all. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll catch y'all on Monday. Deuces.